Hi, my dear students. So today we are coming with a new topic, with a new lesson called water resources. So we have studied lesson number 3, which is talking about water. And you know how important water is. In the earth, so much of water is there, but the water that can be used for human being, that is very little. And most of this good water or pure water is also in the form of ice. Therefore, we have no access to it. So, the water that is available in the river, in the well, the rainwater, these are the pure water or potable water that is available to us. Therefore, we need to be extremely careful in using this water and how to make and preserve this water, how to save this water, and so on. If we are careless, what happens? It will affect our life and also the life of others, because no one can survive without water. Therefore, it is very much important for us to make use the water that is available. We should not waste it and so on. So let us just to see a few facts about water. So take your textbooks, page number 23, lesson number 3, water resources. So you already know that 3/4 of the earth's surface is covered with water. So 3/4 of the earth is water. It is water. Then only 1/4 is land. So see the difference. 3/4 is filled with water, and just 1/4 of the earth is with land. And still we call our planet Earth, isn't it? Actually, it is a water is more, earth is less, but still we call it earth. Actually, the earth looks blue when we look from the space. The photos that I might have seen, the earth looks blue in color. It is because of the presence of so much water on the earth. That's why it looks blue. So the fresh water is a small proportion of it accounts for fresh water that can be put to use. So though there is 3/4 of water is there, the fresh water that we can use or we can drink or we can put to different uses is very little. And the fresh water, as I said, we obtain from the groundwater or then the rainwater and so on. And you know this water is recycled. It is not recycled, it is in the form of a cycle. It is going in rotation. For example, let us see, we get the rain through precipitation. We get the water from the sky through precipitation or through rainfall. Then it becomes part of the earth. It goes down to the earth. It reaches the lakes, wells, rivers, and so on. Then this water is evaporating and it goes up. It remains in the atmosphere, and again it becomes it falls down as a rain precipitate. So it goes round in a cycle form. So water is never destroyed, but it only changes its form and it takes in different forms. Sometimes it is in the form of you can say gas, like when the water is evaporating in the form of a gas, and when it is precipitating in the form of a liquid, and sometimes it is also in the form of solid like ice and so on. So water takes different forms, but this water is never destroyed. It remains the same. The total amount of water remains same, but the quality can be changed. The fresh water can be made into dirty water and so on. So there is a lot of possibilities are there for the water to get spoiled. So we need to preserve, because the fresh water is that is available is very little. Therefore, we need to take extra care to preserve water, to save water, and so on. Then, and water is a renewable resource. Another thing about water is it is a renewable resource. And you may think, as I said, the 3/4 of the earth is water. Then why do we say the fresh water is so less? That's what we shall see now. So, lot of countries in the world, in the earth, they suffer for lack of fresh water. Sometimes we can see during the summer, the dry season, so many countries they are struggling. The lands are cracked because of no rain, and the soil is so dry like a desert land, and the people have to travel miles and miles for bringing drinking water and so on. So it all shows how precious is the water. And though it is a renewable resource, though it is cycling, still we find water is not available everywhere on the earth. And so it is predicted, the scientists predicted, that if the present continuation goes, by the year 2025, 2 billion people will live absolutely in the water scarcity. So we are not very far from 2025. We are already in 2021, and after 4 years it will be 2025. And the scientists predicted 2 billion people will go with water scarcity. They will be struggling to live because of lack of water. So we need to have concern for everyone. We cannot just think, I have plenty of water, so let me lavishly enjoy. So when we make such a kind of decision, we are making others' life difficult. We are pushing others into struggle and so on. So always remember that there are people, millions of people who suffer due to lack of water. So let us not make their life more troublesome, more harm, but let us try to ease their life by saving water for their sake. Now let us see about few facts and figures about water. Few facts and figures. What is the number about the water? So we already said about 3/4 of the earth is water. Now let us see about that water. So 96.5% of the total volume of the world's water is estimated to exist as oceans, and only 2.5% of water is fresh water. So out of this water, 100% water, we call it 100%. So this is the total amount of water on the earth. So out of this water, we have 96.5. So of the total water, 96.5% of the water we will find in the oceans. This much water, 96.5% of the total water, where will you find? You will find them in the ocean. And you know, ocean water is salty. We can't use it for house purpose or for domestic purpose and so. So it is in one way, it is not useful for human use. So such a large amount of water, 96.5% of the total water is not good. Then only just 2.5% is fresh water. 2.5% it is fresh water. It is fresh, and this is in the sea or ocean. So we have just 2.5% of the water available for use, for our use, or only that it can be used, because only that is fresh water. All the rest, 96.5% is not useful for human consumption. and nearly 70% of this fresh water occurs as ice sheets and glaciers in Antarctica, Greenland and mountainous regions of the world. So we say this is the total fresh water available 2.5, and of this, if you take this one as the 100% of the fresh water, 70% of it you will find in the form of ice sheets, glaciers and so on. Where do you find glaciers? On top of the high mountains where the temperature is very low, the mountains are covered with big ice sheets called glaciers, and also we find in the polar regions, the northern pole or the southern pole we find. So again we have very little fresh water, just 2.5 of the total water, and of this fresh water again 70% is not available to us because they remain as ice. If you want to use them, you have to go to the polar regions or you have to climb Himalaya and so on. Only there you will find these ice sheets. So again, so much of water is not available to us for using. If the melt can come through the river and so, then we get access to it. Otherwise, it is not available to us. So again, the water that is accessible to us becomes very less. And a little less than 30% is stored as groundwater in the world's aquifers. So 70% is in the form of ice, and then the rest 70% is available in the river, in the groundwater, and so. So they are available to us only just 30% of the fresh water. So we need to be aware again that how precious water is, how much water is available to us for the entire population in the world. Only just 70% of the total fresh water. Total fresh water is only just 2.5, and that one if you divide into 100, 70% in the form of ice and 30% in the form of fresh water. Then India receives nearly 4% of the global precipitation and ranks 133 in the world in terms of water availability per person per annum. So if you consider all the countries in the world, we say India is the 4th country which receive globe in the high precipitation. So among the countries that receive more rainfall, we can say India is one of the countries that receive more rainfall. So we are in the 4th rank in the matters of precipitation or rainfall, and India is ranking 133 in the world in terms of water availability per person per annum. So in matters of making the water available to the people, we can say we are far behind, 133 rank in the country. So ahead of us 132 countries are there who are able to make water available for the people in India. So we said we have 4th rank in matters of rainfall. So all this rainfall we receive, and what happens to the river? What happens to the water? We are not able to make it available to the people. We are not able to make this water that we have, the rainwater that we have, we are not able to make it available to the people. That is what happens. So the river, it may be simply flowing into the river, or we are not allowing to sink into the earth. The ground level water is very dry, very low, and so a lot of problems are there for India. So we need to make use that all this rainwater that we get, it is not wasted. It is stored in the tank, maybe from the roof we can collect, or we should allow the water to sink into the soil and become part of the groundwater. That way the groundwater level come up and everyone will be able to get water through tube well, bore well, and so on. Then the total renewable water resources of India are estimated 1879 square kilometer per annum. So the total renewable water source means the fresh water, the river water, the lake water, and so on. So if you calculate the measure the area where the water remains, then we can know that in a year 1897 square kilometer areas are covered with fresh water. So that is the situation of water in India. So we receive a lot of rainfall, but at the same time we do not make use of this water to become a useful thing, to make it available to the people of India. We are just ignoring it. We are not aware about the sufferings of the people in other regions. Therefore, we are just living only in our own world. We are not concerned about others. That is what happened. And by 2025, it is predicted a large parts of India will join countries or regions having absolute water scarcity. So earlier we said the scientists predicted that by the year 2025, millions of people will be suffering from water scarcity. And the scientists also say quite many towns in India also will be part of that. Many people living in different parts of India, they are also going to suffer from that problem, going to suffer from the water scarcity problem. So there are still 4 years more, and if you don't want to be part of that suffering, if you don't want to be part of that water scarcity, then we need to take precautions. We need to take extra care. We need to take steps in advance. After these things happen, we run around and we struggle. Before, it is better that we take precaution. And as the saying goes, prevention is better than cure. So if you take care to increase the ground level water, not just to pollute the water, or not just allow the rainwater to flow away into the sea, into the ocean, instead we allow them to sink down into the earth. All that will help us to experience the safety, the surety, water surety in the future. So not only meant for us, but also for the people who are around us, people belonging to our future generation. All of them require a lot of water in the future, and therefore we need to make sure that water should be recycled. Certain places the used water can be recycled and it can be used for different purpose, for irrigation and for other purposes and so on. Also we should make sure that we do not pollute the water bodies. We have very little fresh water is there in the rivers and so on. So we should make sure that the industries, the waste that is coming out from factories and houses, they should not be simply dumped into the sea, should not be directed into the river and so on, because we are polluting the river water, the source of fresh water. Therefore we must take care and we must protect our river sources. So I hope we all need to take care of it. We cannot just say I have enough water so I don't need to worry. So that is not a proper decision that we can do. Instead we must make a correct decision where we show our concern towards other human beings as well. People in other parts of our country, people in other parts of the world who suffer due to lack of water. They are even dying without drinking water. So such a serious situation should not happen in the world because of our negligence. So take care of every moment of our life, the water that is available. Let us not waste this water, but let us take care of it. Let us use sparingly. Whenever it can be recycled, recycle it, and we should make sure that it is not polluted at all. That is the thing that we can do. Otherwise, the whole world, the whole earth is going to turn out to be a desert land without water. So let us not allow such a serious things to happen, but let us take extra care and make sure our earth remains a place where living beings can survive. So thank you for listening. Have a nice day.